somebody stop me. Stop me, stop me. Please, somebody stop me. Stop me, stop me. Oh, somebody stop me. Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Madden 19. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our first... Next, you're going to select from one of three play styles. Next, pretty explanatory. We'll move on. Hey, everybody, Brandon Gaudin back for another year of action with Madden NFL 19. Let's take a... fluidity to every player on the field. In the running game, hit the hole and one cut. Give ball carriers the ability to move through crowded running lanes and turn on the jets once they see a sliver of daylight. Once you reach the end zone, it's time to celebrate either alone or with your closest friends. And so there you go. Nothing to it. Charles Davis and myself will be with you along the way, but from all of us at EA Sports, get out there and enjoy Madden NFL 19.
Mama watching television, telling me avoid the system. Hoping I ain't lose religion. Text and prayer hands, hope the message sending on. Know I've been blessed, I've been seeing prophets, mustard yellow shirts, louder than the broccoli, dancing in my chucks, feeling out of body, say the man got me on. Can you hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? God in my system, been the one I'm kissing. Why might extensions that'll look like expeditions on? Man, it's too loud. Hear me in your city, cause when I start spitting too much drive, need some power steering, cruising to a better vision, y'all. Can you hear me now? 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 Mama, dirty the roads that I've traveled, but I'm on my way. Mama, trust all the steps on my journey, 'cause I'll be okay. I know it's gotta hurt when you know you could've had a president. Guess that I would rather be the man. Maybe one day I'll go back to school. Think I'm probably kidding, but I still mean it. They've been trying to school me, but I've been a genius. Daddy looking more like home since I made moves. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to. It's dark, it's hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now, no reason to doubt. It's clear to see, all eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hate it or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my hands down. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my hands down. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my hands down. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the hands down. Too late, he already lived. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want. Every day I struggle with.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kickoff now just moments away. It is finally time to crown a champion, as I'll hand it over to the two men who will call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
The talk, all the hype, but the past is prologue as this Super Bowl is underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. First carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense. Green 80.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
4 down, a 1st down carry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Let's go. Here we go. Lucy. 372.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. That is incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Hey, 54, Ricky. 380.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to bury him for a loss of 11. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
372. 11B.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Being chased out left. Looking long for Westbrook. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. Back deep is Tavon Austin. He'll field this at the 5. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And he knows the stakes, doesn't he? He knows how huge this game is. But let's face it, he led his team through the gauntlet that is the NFC playoffs. So he's pretty confident about all of this. But the defense he's facing, They've had 2 weeks to prepare for him, but what did he tell us?
Guess what? We've had 2 weeks as well on our side.
And this will be a whole lot of fun.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
46. Here we go, 46.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
The way this game is going, the way that they possess the ball on the other side of the field, you go 3 and out here, you might not see the ball again until the 2nd quarter.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go, 46. 27.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Now he's flushed out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now Elliott. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Here's Prescott. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Super Bowl 52 after this. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. On second down, Prescott again. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Prescott. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is keep your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to it.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well done.
A, B, and C.
Lucy.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Throwing now is Bortles. Flushed out right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go on 4th down with Bortles. Finds, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Lucy. Hank.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And that'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
11. Set. 380.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. He's going to loft one deep left into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight. As we'll get back.
So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half.
It's been a tremendous season from beginning to end. And now we'll play one half of football to decide who raises the Lombardi Trophy. And for the call, let's get it right back to Brandon and Charles.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Here we go, 46. 47.
A second down throw for Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a third down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He finds his man. It's Austin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
To throw is Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll throw again. Prescott. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Bortles. He's got it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a quick slant gets exactly 10. And by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they do.
Hand off to Fournette. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
11B. Green 80. 54, Green 80.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. To open the scoring in Super Bowl 52.